fake to Reeves. The pass complete to Kehoe. There's also a penalty flag on the play. Kehoe will be very close to a first down, but there is a penalty flag, and it will go against Winnipeg, a holding violation against the Blue Bombers.
Well, you see him marching it back. There's no doubt they take this penalty. Don't give them the chance. They would have only been about a half a yard short, so this way it'll be 2nd and 20.
Holding, number 59 on Winnipeg, 2nd down.
Lyle Bauer guilty of holding. Look at those statistics. 138 yards in offense for Winnipeg, 48 for Calgary. In the minus category are the Stampeders in the rushing department. Second down over. The pass for James Murphy. Incomplete. He was fighting with Larry Holt for that ball, and Holt managed to knock it away.
That's not a bad call by a quarterback on a 2nd and 20 situation. It's going to be tough to hit inside and get your 20 yards, so you just say one-on-one outside. I'm going to throw it. If they intercept it, it's as good as a punt. A little bit of a jump ball. Just see who can go up and get it. Good defense by Murphy.
Well, Bob Cameron spent the first quarter kicking into the wind. Let's see how he does with the wind at his back. Trying to angle it out of bounds, and he does. Tagrom has no chance for a run back as he makes. Two teams are on the field at Olympic Stadium in Montreal right now. The Expos are leading in the 7th inning by a score of 5-0. Intended for Lewis Walker. Off his fingertips, incomplete.
Well, Joe Barnes, you know, for a team that's 1 win and 5 losses, it's amazing. He's hitting 61% of his passes, and he's leading the CFL in everything but touchdowns, and he's only 2 behind there, so he's having a pretty good season throwing the ball.
Of course, he and his favorite target, Emmanuel Tolbert, were teammates with the Toronto Argonauts. Lewis Walker, and he is upset at the 30-yard line. He has stopped about 3 yards short of a first down, so Bud Riley sends out the punting unit.
Well, it's going to take an awfully good kick right here to get them, to keep the Bombers from having good field position. I think we might see him put a little bit of pressure on him to hurry him even more.
J.T. Hay, who handles both placement and punting chores for the Calgary Stampeders, stands back at his own 15-yard line. Just one man back, Glenn Steele, for this 3rd down kick, an indication that the Bombers are going to try and go after it. Bad snap, and the ball is raced in the end zone. Winnipeg recovers. Sean Kehoe.
Well, I knew they'd go back, go try to block this thing. Don't allow him time to punt it, but this you don't count on. You still count on the guy catching it and kicking it, but when you have that many blue jerseys on a rush, they're going to recover any fumble, and the result, touchdown.
Well, Kehoe is the man who recovered it, but it was Roy Bennett coming from the outside who belted J.T. Hay after he picked up the ball and mishandling the snap from center and popped it loose. Trevor Kennard with the point after. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers move into a 21-6 lead in the end zone as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers score their 3rd touchdown of the day and lead by a 21-6 margin. Tagrom takes it at his 5-yard line. And he is upended on a hit by Vernon Paul.
Well, we expected the Bombers to come after him. They overloaded this right side. They wanted J.T. Hay to have to kick it to his left, but he mishandles the snap, and as you said, Roy Bennett did smack him good, and that caused the ball to come free. And you don't see a white jersey anywhere in there, so there's no doubt what the result of this is going to be.
And Sean Kehoe, this past week, just signed a new contract with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Sean Kehoe, of course, was a star in the Grey Cup win last year over the Hamilton Tiger Cats at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Lewis Walker breaks one tackle, and Lewis Walker continues all the way to the 50-yard line. He was stopped there finally by Ken Haley.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders needed a play like that to get out of the shadows of that goalpost. He starts to his right, cuts back. Good block coming across by his left tackle. Sean McEwen comes down on that linebacker, and then you get Walker or any good running back into the secondary, and he'll make a lot of yards.
1st and 10. The Stampeders are at the 50-yard line. Walker tries it again. And he got across the midfield stripe and is stopped by Scott Flagel at the Winnipeg 54. A gain of 6 for Lewis Walker. Well, that will improve the Stampeders' rushing statistics, those last 2 romps by Lewis Walker. They have to put some points on the board, and they'd like to sustain this drive all the way to the end zone with 9:32 remaining in this first half. Tag Rome, the receiver, making the catch for a first down at the Winnipeg 49. Anthony Tag Rome, who was with the Edmonton Eskimos, picked up by the Calgary Stampeders. He's on a 21-day trial for a while, but he said, I don't want to spend my entire pro career as a 21-day trial player.
Well, if he keeps playing like he did last week, I don't think he'll have to worry about it anymore.
1st and 10 from the Winnipeg 49. Barnes hit just as he tried to throw by Tyrone Jones. They rule it dead as Frank Robinson grabbed it on a hop and was heading for the end zone.
Well, Joe's ready to throw the football. He wants to throw it quick. Nobody open, and now Tyrone Jones is free. Doesn't like to get a welcome like that too often, though. Saw number 19, Emmanuel Tolbert, just didn't stay with Tyrone Jones long enough, and don't let him wind up on you.
Jones played all of last year and through training camp this year with what he thought may have been an Achilles tendon injury. Finally, after some thorough examination, they discovered it was a bit of a bone spur, and he was quite relieved after he had the operation that it was not an Achilles problem. Pass is picked off, intercepted by David Shaw.
Well, we'll look at Barnes. Now, Barnes is doing a little fake. Now, you roll left, and you see the Bombers are coming after him. He's going to overthrow the receiver. He's throwing for Emmanuel Tolbert. He can't reach it, and then David Shaw steps right in front in the back, and the Bombers have field position. So that 2 good running plays by Lewis Walker didn't get him enough to sustain it and put points on the board, and the Bombers have it, and anything can happen now.
Cal Murphy was telling us an interesting story about David Shaw. We'll get to that in just a moment. 1st and 10, Winnipeg. There's that hitch screen to Jeff Boyd. He's got a first down to the 41. We talked about David Shaw, and there you see the Winnipeg defensive back and other members of that Bomber defense. Cal Murphy has a phone-in show. He said the phone rang the other night. Said, Coach, good game over in Hamilton. Thought your defense played well. He said, thank you, David Shaw. Ball is at the Winnipeg 40-yard line. First and 10, Winnipeg. Clements over the middle to Sean Kehoe, and Kehoe has another Winnipeg first down. He drives to the Calgary 54.
Well, Tom Clements will take those kind of passes all day. Those linebackers want to drop out of there deep. He'll bring Kehoe right out underneath them. And when you start getting 15 yards with a little check down, that's a big play.
Clements takes the hit, has the pass intercepted. This will go for a touchdown. No, the boat has Willard Reeves caught up with Ron Hopkins. Willard Reeves turned on the jets to catch Hopkins and prevent him from going all the way on an interception that appeared to have touched.
Hurling O'Keefe, game start.
Ron Hopkins has put himself in position to be considered a candidate for the defensive award with this 53-yard return.
Well, you can see Tom Clements right now when he turned. There was something wrong with that play. The only mistake Tom Clements made, he should have just peeled it and eat it. Don't throw that one because you see what the result on that was.
And the pass is complete to Lewis Walker for a gain of about 8 as he's hauled down by Tyrone Jones. There are certain times when a quarterback has to take the hit and hang on to the football.
Yeah, I never learned that lesson soon enough. I was a slow learner anyway. But yeah, you sure do. Like right here, one receiver out, and he just threw it out there, and Hopkins saw it coming.
Lewis Walker trying to get first down yardage. He'll be very close.
And nobody knows it more than that man. Tom Clements knows he made a mistake. Tom doesn't say much. He doesn't have to. He knows.
Well, how this game has turned around just when it looked as though Winnipeg might be moving into position to put it away. The Calgary Stampeders have a new life with 6:30 remaining in the half, trailing 21-6. And they could score their first touchdown of the game if they can keep this drive going. The chain is out there as they measure to see whether or not they have the first down. It appears as though it's going to be just a little short, about the length of the football. But there's not much doubt that the Stampeders will be going for it.
He's got to get it.
Defensively, this is the way the Bombers have played in this 1985 season and in this game. Joe Barnes should have it.
Well, we looked at the defense of the Bombers. This will be a test for him. That ball's going to be out on the 6-yard line. Bud Riley knows right now he needs to get this one into the end zone. He wants that offense to score, and you know, one guy wants to score, that guy wants them out of there. He doesn't care how they do it.
First and goal from the 6-yard line. Pass complete, and then a big hit. Winnipeg scoops it up, and Dan Patterson gets all the way back to the 26-yard line. What a hit by Roy Bennett as he decked Lewis Walker.
You know, last time they had the ball, they hit that quick flat pass to Lewis Walker. Now, they want him to come out in the flat, and they want the Bombers in a man-to-man defense, and then all Barnes will do is step back and shoot and let him score. But watch what happens. Roy Bennett, the corner, they changed the defense and went to a zone. Now, look who's waiting on Walker just as he turns around. That's a great hit. Rule it a completion, and away they go. We'll see one more look at it. This is a surprise. When you have your head turned like that and turn around and get met like that, well, that'll hurt. No wonder he's down.
Lewis Walker is still down, and the rookie Roy Bennett, who is something of a question mark for this ball game as the result of an injury against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, has certainly stamped himself as one of the candidates this year for that Shenley Rookie of the Year award. He has played very, very well.
Also, he's stepping into, you know, maybe
of Utah being assisted over to the Calgary bench by athletic therapist Pat Clayton. Clayton, previously with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. As a matter of fact, he spent about 6 or 7 years with Winnipeg before moving to Calgary and joining the Stampeders this year. Winnipeg takes over, and the handoff goes to Willard Reeves. Reeves getting to the outside, but he was tripped up by Steve Carpenter. A gain of about 9.
we see that play run a lot by the Bombers where the action starts one way, and then all of a sudden they bring that Chris Walby, that big moose, coming back the other way, leading Willard Reeves, and he wiped out the whole side, and Reeves made a big gain.
Chris Walby, 6'7", 295 pounds. Incomplete. And you won't see them bounce off the chest of Joe Poplawski very often.
Boy, that was ideally thrown. Hitting right between the 7 and the 1. I I still think they'll go after this on third down. It looks less than a yard down there.
4:40 is the time remaining in the half. The short yardage offense is out there. Reeves has carried 4 times for 27 yards this afternoon. Will Clements keep this one? No, he gives it to Willard Reeves, and he has the first down. Stopped by Vince Goldsmith. Interesting situation in the coaching ranks. Bud Riley, the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders, his son, Mike Riley, coaches the defensive backs for Winnipeg. You don't often hear or see father and son coaching combinations on opposite sides of the field.
You know, it must have happened somewhere in the history of football, but I sure don't know where it was. It's got to be I don't know whether you say an enviable position for either one of them.
Jeff Boyd on that screen. He's got some room and some blockers. To the 39-yard line.
A well-run football play. What you usually see is to go to the wide side of the field, but watch Pat Cantner come out here and make the block, and then they get 2 big linemen in here, and it looks like they're going to break it. Cantner comes right out. He's looking for number 15, Hopkins, and he's got him in his sights. Good hit on him, puts him on his back, and now those other big linemen are out there.
Nemeth and Bonk out in front of Jeff Boyd.
Oh, look at this. You know, Don, they love to throw that hit screen out to the flanker, and I'm sure we'll get a replay of this in a little bit. Now what? Clements is going to look out there like he's going to throw that hit screen. He fakes it, and those Calgary defensive backs come up to get James Murphy standing in the backfield, but they forget about Poplawski, and he just waltzes down the field all by himself.
And Joe says that makes up for the one I dropped.
He says, yeah, and I've never had an easier one. There was nobody near him.
The second touchdown of the game for Joe Poplawski, and he has to be a candidate as well for that Carling O'Keefe Game Star Award. Trevor Kennard with the point after. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers move in front by a score of 28-6 with 3:05 remaining in the half. Canada and the Honduras, and we'll have a report on the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. And by the way, Mr. Lancaster, congratulations on being inducted into the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame.
It was a great evening, and Jake Goddard did a great job of organizing it.
Tag Rome concedes the point on that Trevor Kennard kickoff that sails into the end zone. And it's now 29-6, Winnipeg in front of Calgary.
Well, there's a time to run that ball out of the end zone and a time to give up the single point. And when you're facing the wind and a 29-6 deficit, you better get the field position because you need it on your side.
Tag Rome goes wide to the left. Rufus Cox comes out to the right. Barnes dumps it over the middle to Emmanuel Tolbert. He is stopped at the 42. And Tom Clements has reached a milestone in his professional career, 30,000 passing yards. That also means somebody has been forced to run with the ball for 30,000 yards.
That's right. If he's completing them, somebody's running with it.
Second and 3. Barnes is hit, fumbles the ball, and who's got it? Winnipeg claims they've got it. There's no signal yet. They're still grappling for that football. Winnipeg has it.
You know, Don, who made the play on that particular play was Roy Bennett, you know, the rookie. All Joe wants to do is throw a stop. All he needs a few yards for the first down, and Bennett jumped on that receiver right now, and Joe couldn't throw the football. And when you're going to throw the ball quick, your lineman will chop block. But that time, they got up off the ground and still had time to come in to make the hit.
Tyrone Jones was the man who made contact with Barnes, popping the ball loose. Turnovers have proven costly this afternoon for Calgary. Willard Reeves picks up just a couple of yards before being wrestled down by Vince Goldsmith.
Well, those turnovers, though, they usually will have a say in the outcome of every football game, and they're either with you or against you, and when you're getting them, you think they're great, and in Calgary's case today, they're giving them away, and you see the 29-6. Turnovers have accounted for a lot of those points.
2:30 the time remaining in the half. Murphy lines up to the right. Boyd splits left. Penalty flag is down. Clemens throws deep, looking for Boyd. Incomplete. Holding against Winnipeg, so it would have all gone for naught anyway.
Tom really didn't have anywhere to throw the football, and I know a lot of times a quarterback will throw it just far enough out of everybody's reach, but that time he could have thrown it another 35 yards into the stands because his man wasn't open.
So the Stampeders are going to move the Bombers back. And it will be 2nd and 19.
Holding. Number 62, Winnipeg. 2nd down over.
Richard Nemeth, the sophomore out of the University of Western Ontario, was guilty of the holding call.
Well, the last time it was 2nd down and 20, Tom just decided he'd check out one of the corners, and it was Larry Hogue, and he just sent Murphy down the field. Let's see if he tries it again.
Fake inside. Clements over the middle to Sean Keogh. He is stopped at the 35, about 7 yards short of a first down. Steve Carpenter was there to make the tackle.
We said earlier, you know, when you throw that check down or a check off right into the middle to your back, you don't expect to get, like right there, he got 14 yards with that play. That's a lot on a play like that, and it puts him right into field goal range for Kennard.
Bob Cameron will hold at the 42-yard line. Kick is wide, and it sails through the end zone for a single point. So with 1:45 remaining in the half, it's Winnipeg 30 and Calgary 6. While we have an opportunity, we would like to congratulate the junior players of the week in Canadian junior football. Tim Ellison of the Richmond Raiders, the offensive choice. 5 catches, 144 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And defensively, linebacker Mario Adrozio of the Oshawa Hawkeyes, 17 tackles, 1 sack, and a block punt.
17 tackles and a block punt in the game. Yeah, I think that could win you some honors.
1st and 10 Calgary from the 35. Again, and they've got Barnes back at the 26-yard line. Stan Mikolas was in along with 2 of the linebackers, Tyrone Jones and Frank Robinson.
Well, Cal Murphy said in that opening statement of his that they've got to get to Barnes quicker. Well, they're doing a pretty good job of it today, and they're getting awful close to him, and he's not able to see as well when you get in there.
This is the rubber match. Winnipeg and Calgary, dating all the way back to 46. Mikolas was pressuring Barnes again, and with Scott Flagel moving up from his safety position, Barnes went down, and Calgary will be forced to punt. Flagel is favoring that left knee. He was shaken up last week against Hamilton. Jerome Erdman, normally a slot back, came into the ball game in his place as a defensive back. As a matter of fact, he had an interception against Hamilton.
Yeah, I was talking to Mike Riley about that, you know, because Erdman was out there catching the ball before the game, and he said he calls himself the interceptor. He got in for one play and intercepted it. He said, he told me anytime you need an interception, I'll go in and get it for you.
And Hay got the kick away. Steele takes it on the run and is bounced out of bounds at the Calgary 49 by Donnie Harris.
Well, I believe we'll see Clements in that hurry-up offense with 1:12 left and only 49 yards to travel. He doesn't necessarily have to use it, but I think he will.
I mentioned the Stars of the Week in Canadian junior football. An interesting game is coming up in a couple of weeks. The Regina Rams, one of the dominant teams for many years in junior football, are going to take on the University of Alberta Golden Bears in an exhibition game.
That is an interesting situation.
Boyd on that hit screen, and he is tripped up as he got to the 39-yard line.
That play right there, the hit screen to the flanker to the wide side of the field, that's what Calgary was expecting when Clements faked it and threw it to Poplawski.
Winnipeg in that hurry-up offense with 1:07 remaining in the half. 2nd and 1. Clements is going to throw it. Over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Erdman. That takes the clock to 1 minute exactly.
With 1 minute left in that field position, go get it.
Cal Murphy sends Cantner into the ball game. Sean Kehoe comes out. Pat Langdon is also going in, and Erdman is coming out. With the incomplete pass, the clock will not start until the ball is snapped. Willard Reeves should have the first down. 56 seconds, the time remaining. Winnipeg leading by a score of 30-6.
Right back up on the ball. 56 seconds. Ball around to 36. Got a lot of time.
Hand off to Willard Reeves, and he fights his way to the 31-yard line. Stopped there by Randy Troutman. If required, Trevor Kennard is ready on the sidelines. And Trevor Kennard came into this game as the leading scorer in the CFL. Clements throwing for James Murphy. He makes the catch, but he was out of bounds. Clements isn't pleased with that throw.
Now that ball got up in the wind and sailed on him because Murphy went down again on Larry Hogue. Fake to the inside and then broke deep toward the corner. And in that type of a pattern, the quarterback, all he wants to do is throw it away from the defender. And it just got a little bit away from him and got too far because Murphy had him beat.
A 38-yard field goal attempt upcoming by Trevor Kennard. Bob Cameron holds. It's good. With 39 seconds remaining in the half, it's Winnipeg 33 and Calgary 6.
Trevor Kennard will be awful happy about that. You know, he wanted another shot. He missed that one earlier. Oh, those kickers don't like to end a half or a game with a miss. They want that ball through the uprights. Makes halftime more enjoyable.
Even though Winnipeg had a 28-10 victory over Hamilton last Sunday, they weren't pleased with their total overall performance at Ivor-Wynne Stadium. The Calgary Stampeders were very pleased with their performance a week ago Saturday under the Dome in Vancouver. Wonder how teams could play so differently in the space of 8 days.
Well, I think that Hamilton Tiger Cat defense is pretty tough to begin with. I thought they showed that last night against the Lions. So, you know, you're not going to go out and play a perfect game every game like the Calgary Stampeders did last week. And I think that the defenses will dictate a lot of times just how well an offense plays.
Second and 4 with 20 seconds remaining in the half. Lewis Walker breaking a couple of tackles and spinning his way up to the 47-yard line. First down, Calgary. Well, there's Mike Riley, number 1 offspring of 59-year-old Bud Riley, the new head coach of the Calgary Stampeders, ex-head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Toronto Argonauts, and Hamilton Tiger Cats. Barnes throwing deep for Rufus Cox, incomplete. And that will end the first half at Winnipeg Stadium. The Bombers in front 33-6, now 6. They had a couple of opportunities to perhaps narrow the gap, but the big hit by Roy Bennett on Lewis Walker when it appeared as though Calgary was driving in, that popped the ball away, and turnovers tell much of the story.